See how much damage we did. 56%. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, as you can probably see by the thumbnail, we're going to be going over Scorpion. So I've always loved Scorpion. Great character, best character pretty much in Mortal Kombat. You know, Raiden's pretty good too, but Scorpion's a beloved character, but this video is a little bit unplanned. I didn't really plan to play Scorpion. We didn't get much gameplay or get to see much of him from the trailers or the combat casts leading up to the game's release. But when it came out, I found myself really enjoying just his playstyle and the character in general. And so since we didn't get a trailer from him, it wasn't my intention to really even play this character, but I'm really liking him a lot. So I thought I'd put out a little video to show you guys how to use Scorpion. So in today's video, I want to go over 5 basic areas. So first are his basic buttons and how you're going to use those and when to throw those out. We'll go over his special moves as well as his aerial attacks. We'll go over the cameos that I found personally to be the best to work with Scorpion. And then the game plan for Scorpion as well. That's going to be very dependent on the cameo you use, so keep that in mind. And then lastly, we'll kind of wrap it up and I'll show you some combo potential you can get with Scorpion with each of those cameos that we went over. So basic buttons for Scorpion are 1, 2, and 3. Every basic move we have from there is going to stem from one of those moves basically. So firstly, let's look at his 1, 2. So we have 1, 2. Boom. Okay, it's pretty far reaching for the second hit, but that's not the main move you really want to use. For the most part, you're going to be using the 2-1, right? So we got 2 and 2-1. That is super fast, and let me pull up the frames. So if you can see 1 7-frame startup, great. That's usually the punish move you'll want to do, especially if they're right in your face. You're gonna go 1, 2, right, to punish. But 2-1 is 10 frames on startup, so it's not bad at all. A lot of times you can use this to punish as well, and you're gonna get a little bit more damage. So we'll look 1, 2, 40, 48 damage. 2-1, 58 damage. So you're gonna get a little bit more damage with 2-1. But lastly, we'll do stand 3. Boom. Right, so that's that kick. Okay, so those are his basic buttons. Now let's talk about the follow-up moves for each of those. So the follow-up for 1 is going to be 1, 2 or 1, 2, 2. So 1, 2 or 1, 2, 2, which is an overhead ending. And that's going to be good. And we'll talk about that more when we get to some cameos. But that overhead can be a mix-up depending on the cameo you have. So again, we have 1, 1, 2 or 1, 2, 2 with the overhead. All right, next, let's look at his 2-1. So 2, 2, 1. 10 frames on startup. Great. This is like the footsie move. Look how much range you have on here. You know, you're in, out, boom. You want to push buttons. You want to move on. You want to, try to close in the gap on me. Boom. I'm taking a step back. Boom. Going into 2-1. Okay. So you can finish the string as well with 2, 1, 4. Right. And that's also safe on block. So we have 2, safe, 2, 1. Safe, 2, 1, 4, safe. Now let's look at the previous string. 1, safe, 1, 2, safe, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Even the overhead is safe. Crazy, right? Okay, so Scorpion has some really good buttons and he has some safe moves. Keep in mind, this 2, this 1, those are highs. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a mid, right? But it's a high. See, high, 4.5. So keep that in mind. They can duck it. If they know you're throwing this out too much, they might boom, come in and try to punish, quick micro duck. So keep that in mind. That's where we have the standing, not the standing 3, but we have the standing 3, but we also have forward 3, which is a mid. So boom, boom, right? They're getting used to it. They're coming in for the micro ducks. You come in and you get a full launcher off this forward 3, 2. So let's take a look. So boom, I'm throwing this out. They're getting used to it. They're micro ducking. Come in with a forward 2 or forward 3, 2, and you can get a launcher. So first we have his back 3, which is nearly a full screen sweep. So watch this. I'm gonna go full screen. It won't hit. But if I go full screen and take 1, 2 steps forward, it's hitting. And the second hit goes slightly further than the first hit. So if you can see it, the first hit whiffs, second hit still might hit. So it's an insane sweep, very punishable though. So take a look here. Right, you're negative 19, but with a full screen like that, almost nobody's punishing that. So you never want to do this right in someone's face because you're going to get very drastically punished. But full screen, not many characters are punishing that unless you have like a flying kick, Johnny Cage dash kick, whatever it is. But most characters aren't punishing this move. So that's the sweep. We also have his forward 4, which is a launcher. So boom, launcher, you can go into more moves. So forward 4 is a launcher, it's good, but forward 3-2 is also a launcher and it's faster. So if you look, forward 4, start up 16 frames, forward 3, start up 12 frames, right? Boom, and you can follow up that with the launcher as well. So my opinion, I'm gonna be using the forward, 3-2, especially since it gives more damage too. So as you can see there, 50 damage, boom, boom, you get 97. So, you choose. Let me know which one you guys like. It's slower and it does less damage. There might be some specific instances where it's better for mid combo or something, but for the most part, I'm coming through with this mid, especially since this is a high as well. So it's just, in my opinion, a worse move. So there, you have that back 4 or back 3. You have that forward 4, and then you have forward 3. Those are some, right? So again, basic buttons. Let's close it up here. We have 1-2. We have 1-2-2 with the overhead. Then we have 2-1. Then we have 2-1-4. And then lastly, we have stand 3, which is good. Stand 3-3, or we have stand 3-3-3, which is also good. Okay, solid moves in the neutral. He's pretty good just because of this far-reaching 2-1 that he has. He's pretty solid, right? Catching people moving is gonna be pretty easy with Scorpion. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to his special moves and his aerial attacks. Now that we're on to special moves, he essentially has 4 sets of buttons to be pressed, but they are maybe 6 or 7 different special moves depending on if you're in the air or if you're on the ground, right? So if we do down back Y on the ground, we get this. We do down back Y in the air, we get this, right? So just keep that in mind. It's only a few different buttons, so it's a very easy character to use. And you just got to know when to use the buttons. So we have the spear just like in every game, right? And that's back forward 1. Boom, spear. Keep in mind, every single one of his special moves is punishable except for the air ones, which are clearly unblockable. And you can get punished if you're doing them in the air and landing, right? But with no opponent in the air. But other than that, all his special moves are punishable. So I'm gonna set Reptile to block so you guys can take a look. So if I do spear to Reptile just randomly in the neutral, you'll see that he is punishable. So let me move my face out of the way. Boom, negative 28. So it's punishable. Even full screen, like Scorpion can punish Scorpion with a chain or a spear, right? So if I did this in not full screen, like not absolute full screen, you can't punish it, but about like right here, if I do spear, another Scorpion player could spear me right back and actually combo me. Johnny Cage can punish this a lot with his dash kick. Liu Kang can punish it with his fire kick. So keep that in mind. Those full reaching special move reversals will punish these moves. Okay, so we have spear. We have this move here, down back Y. And then we have in the air, boom, we have the grab. That's full screen. Or sorry, this is the close version. If you go in the air and you do back forward 2 again, it'll be full screen. So you can see it reached a lot further. Close, far, right? And then on the ground, again, we have spear. We have this move. And then we also have this move right here, which is an unblockable if it's enhanced, but it can be blocked if it's not enhanced, which is back forward 4. That move is called Devouring Flame. Didn't remember the name of it, but Devouring Flame. It can be punished if you do it and they block it, so keep that in mind. Right. So you see block -38. And just so you can see on the special moves here, a lot of the frame data is incorrect, right? So you'll do it in the actual, so you can see it says block advantage 81, which is not correct, right? It's -38. So just keep that in mind. Don't believe everything that the frame data is telling you guys. That can be punished. And then lastly, we have the teleport, boom, which is back or down back A, or down back 3, sorry. And so that's extremely punishable as well. It's not a combo starter in this game either. So it's not a whole lot of reason to do this, the teleport, other than mid combo in the air. So boom, you get a little bit of damage, but you can't even combo it. And then on top of that, if they block it, it's extremely punishable. So it's not a whole lot of upside to doing teleport in this game like you would before, unless you do it mid combo like this, you know, or something like that, right? You know, you can do it mid air. So that's a time to use the teleport. Other than that, it's not a random thing you just throw out in neutral to catch your opponent off guard like you would in the other Mortal Kombat, because if you enhance it, you're still not getting anything. It's just a cancel now. It's a cancel, but that cancel is still punishable. So it's not much you can, you know, you can really do. You might be able to get out of the corner with a little teleport, but there's better ways to get out of the corner as well, because you have back forward Y, right? Let's look at that. Boom. So that gives you a bit more damage than the teleport, as you can see. Right, you get 50 for a teleport. You're getting 80 for this move here. So it's not really a move you use unless you're in the air. But those are all his special moves. But when you string them together, it starts to make a bit more sense. And it's very fun because, again, these are very simple special moves to do. Scorpion's game plan is very basic. So with that, okay, before we actually move on to cameos, let's look at a few of his aerial attacks as well. So you can see what those do. So if we get a launcher, boom, we have 1, 1, 1, right? So I'll do it 3 different times, right? So I'll do up 1, I'll do 1, 1, and then 1, 1, 1, right? And then we have 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then next we have 1, 3 in the air. So, which in my opinion is not very good. You're better off using the other one. It's the same amount of damage and it lets you combo better. So let's see here. So you have 1, 3, but you're better off using Deadly Sting, which is going to be 3, 4. Watch, take a look. You can't combo after 1, 3 with a lot of Scorpion strings. I don't know why, but watch here. All right, I'm gonna do 1, 3 and try to combo it. Then I'm gonna do 3, 4 and try to combo it. Not hitting. The second hit always whiffs. As you can see, you can actually land that combo this time, and that's meterless, because a lot of times you're going to need to do this combo. If you don't have meter, it'll get you more damage. But if you try it with the other one, I just can't get it. Doesn't land. But this way, you can actually get that combo in. And then boom, you're getting almost 40% for no meter at all. Okay, now that you know his aerial attacks, and you saw his aerial special moves already, you know, this, we can go ahead and hop on into some cameos. All right, let's do it. Also keep in mind that wasn't every single one of his aerial attacks. Those are the ones that I found most useful. Some of the other ones can be combo enders, but a lot of times you'll find it better off to do something else to get more damage at the end of a combo. So feel free to experiment on your own. Next, we're going to talk about the best cameos to use with Scorpion. So Scorpion has 4 main cameos that I think work really good for him. That's Sector, Sub-Zero, Frost, and Serena. And they all have their purposes. Serena's going to give you some insane damage, some insane combos. Sub-Zero is going to protect you from zoners, as well as giving you a little bit more damage with their combos with his freeze. Frost is going to do essentially the same thing without protecting you from projectiles, but she has a few more options to make up for it on her end, and she has a tricky low for her freeze, which gets opponents a lot of the time and can randomly give you a 30-40% damage combo and save you from the match. And then we have Striker, who gives that overhead mix up to Scorpion that he otherwise wouldn't have. Right now, I mean, he has this low, but you can't combo from it, except if you pick Goro as a cameo, but even then you're getting like 12%. So those are the 4 cameos I think we should use, so let's hop on into it. So first we have Sub-Zero's freeze move, which is great for obvious reasons, right? It's actually a little bit faster than Frost's freeze move too, by the way, just in case you're curious. But you can do things like that, like this. It just lets you get a little bit of additional damage, right, on your moves you typically wouldn't be able to get that little bit more damage on. So it's good for that. But the main thing is when you're trying to play against someone who's trying to zone the absolute hell out of you, and you have his regular B, which basically makes you immune to all projectiles. It just eats them. It eats all projectiles of any kind. So let's set Reptile to throw some projectiles here. So let's take a look at this. Nothing at all. Right, typically I get hit. I could do some things like this, even put it on in the middle of the combo. Boom, not getting hit by anything, right? Even that isn't gonna hit me. No projectile will hit you. Even cameo projectiles are not gonna hit you in this. And when you have this ice, you have this ice cloak on, essentially, whatever you want to call it. What is it actually called? Arctic armor. Okay, so when you have Arctic armor on, nothing's hitting you. No projectiles. So that's the best thing in my opinion. But then you also. So lastly, we have his cold shoulder move. All right, so we talked about this. Fantastic. We talked about his freeze, which is that also good. A little bit more damage when you need it, right? You're gonna get more damage than you would without it. But lastly, we have his cold shoulder move, right? Which basically resets neutral depending on how you used it, right? So if you see all there where I just threw it out, I'm +4. I was +3 the last time. But if I do it after a move, it'll reset neutral. Boom, we're back at 0 and we're back at that distance. Scorpion has a great 2, so most people aren't gonna be able to punish that unless they got like Shao Kahn or something who's throwing his hammer around. It resets neutral and it just helps you control the space a little bit. So those are his moves, pretty simple. Let's take a look at Frost. So lastly, let's talk about Frost. I talked about her and Sub-Zero at the same time. Typically, I mean, it's pretty obvious. They're both ice characters. The good thing about Frost's freeze is that it's a low, so it can sometimes throw the opponents off. Keep in mind it is slower than Sub-Zero's though. So, right, we have Scorpion's 1-2 that ends in 1-2-2 overhead, or you could go 1-2 into Frost low and really, you know, trick the opponent, right? You get that low, you're getting a full combo, right? You hit somebody with this enough times, they're gonna block standing up. So, right, you keep hitting them with that. Boom, they're gonna block standing up, and then you're gonna randomly throw out when you leave, get a full combo punish on them. So that move is great. You can do it full screen too. A lot of times Frost will eat that first hit and they'll still get the freeze and you'll get a full combo. You're going into chain grab right there, get over here, and you're getting 35-40% from a simple freeze. Next we have Frost's Orb, right? This is really for setups to really throw the opponent off, right? On knockdown, I usually use this move. So if I have him, if I have Reptile unlocked, right, something like that on hit, or right, get some distance, or something like this maybe. Boom, on knockdown, and now you're back in there, especially in the corner. Not a lot of people don't know what to do, right? You could do this. They don't know what to do. Going for the grab, right? Make sure they get hit. Whatever you want to do, right? So that's that move. It's really for setups. It's not it's not able to be comboed into in any way. I've tried multiple times, it just can't. And then lastly, you have her form, which is a little bit better in my opinion than Sub-Zero's Cold Shoulder, because it gives you more advantage on block. So let's take a look. So we have Ice Crash, which is pretty good, kind of similar to Sub-Zero's Cold Shoulder. Gives you hit advantage, but just a little bit, right? So if I go into, I don't know, say like stand 3-3, it's an Ice Crash. I'm +4, right? So, and at that distance, it's pretty good for Sub-Zero, or it's pretty good for Scorpion, I mean. Boom. You're like perfect range to throw out your stand 2. So they moved up even a little bit. Boom, he's getting hit. Or you can, you know, quick little micro dash up. Boom, give him some pressure. Last we have Frosty's Revenge, kind of similar to the Cold Shoulder. It's the same button, you just hold it longer. So boom, that's Ice Crash. And then Frosty's Revenge is that same button, but you just hold it. So like something like this. And so you can see I'm -1, but I have the full screen now. So, I mean, you could do anything from this point. I mean, we have an unblockable Scorpion has, right? You can hit him with the unblockable. You could do the, you know, regular version of that, which is blockable, but a lot of times people are trying to get back in, so you're gonna hit them with that. A lot of times when people get hit with that move, you get a cane grab, whatever you want to do from that point. You have so many options. So Sub-Zero is good for zoners, right? So if you're playing a zoner, I'm picking definitely Sub-Zero as my cameo. But any other situation, I'm probably going to pick Frost, just because she has a few more tools at her disposal, and that mix up for the low freeze is a little bit better. You pretty much have to strictly hit confirm Sub-Zero's freeze if you want to get the extra bit of damage. So buttons, let's talk about cameos and the best cameo selections. So you can go for big damage with Serena, and that's one of the most popular cameos at the moment, is the Serena cameo, because she gives insane amounts of damage for pretty much any character you pick, just because you can string 2 of her cameo moves back together, back to back like this, and it's all on the ground, so you don't have to even think much. And then what, 40%, and I wasn't even trying, honestly. So Serena's a good cameo if you're going for straight damage. If you're going to use the Serena cameo, you're going to need to have good footsies, because it's going to be tough to get to get them open, because honestly this is a good whiff punish tool, but you got to have footsies to do it, right? You're not just going to be in someone's face the whole match. You're going to need to play it smart, get that space, and then use it accordingly. So that's the Serena cameo, but you can get in some insane damage. So let me show you something right here. This is a basic combo here, right? Okay, you can go punish. So almost 45%, and that was 1 bar. I used 1 bar for that combo. Let's try it with no meter. Okay, let's try it this time with no meter. So almost 40% no meter needed with the Serena cameo. Again, so it's the big damage. So if you have all 3 bars of meter too, you can get some really insane damage. We're getting 40 for no bars. We are getting about 42 for 1 bar. Let's see if we can get with 3 bars. Mm. 51%, 33 hits, super easy combo to learn. I'm telling you, Serena's a good cameo you can use for damage. If you just want to go straight for damage and you have good footsies, it's the cameo to use. I use Serena most of the time, but sometimes every once in a while I will pick Sector, because Sector lets you control your turn a lot better, and so you're going to chip away at their health a little bit more, but it's great and it works well with Scorpion. Let's hop into it and take a look.
See how much damage we did. %. Okay. Taking a look at Sector's Cameo. So Sector's Cameo isn't going to give you the insane damage that you get with Serena, but it's going to let you control the space a lot more. So again, we talked about it earlier. Your main moves are going to be your 2 right here, boom, 2-1, right, to punish. So you're going to play footsies a little bit still, but you don't have to be as good with it because we can cancel into this move with Sector and not be punishable like we typically would be. So let's set Reptile to block all. So if we go boom boom, right, we're not punishable. We're at -6. All you can really do is poke, and some people don't even have 6 frame poke. So boom boom, we're not punishable. But say I want to do something a little crazy, boom boom, and go into this, get some of that tip damage, right? Chip them on out. That might be the goal, right? So boom boom, I go in here and get some chip damage. Typically I'm punishable, -25, easy punish, full combo. You're probably hitting 40% with most characters in this game. So you can't just throw that out. But if you time it right with Sector's Cameo, then that is completely not punishable. And if he does try to push a button, you can get a full combo off of him. So let's take a look at this, right? So if I go 2-1 and then have his Cameo come out for that, while I'm doing this, he won't be able to punish. So, but we have to do the timing correctly. So 2-1 Cameo. And then as soon as you hit Cameo, you're going into this right after, okay? You can't go into this move before you go into the Cameo, because if you do, it's not gonna time right and he'll have just a second to punish you. And if he does a forward advancing move, the rocket will miss. So it's 2-1 Cameo into this. Boom. Perfect. And if that is blocked, we're still super plus. So if we look at Cameo moves, if we look to the right here, that's 118 block advantage, 136 hit advantage. So we have tons and tons of time to attack now. So if he blocks, again, perfectly timed, RB Cameo into the move, has to be perfectly timed, boom, can't do anything. He's completely stunned. So just to show you, if you do, right, because you're going to be in his face right here, you're going to be right here in his face. If that rocket hits, you're going into a full combo. Okay, so if that rocket hits, boom, you're getting a full combo punish from that rocket hitting him. So that's the game plan there, right? You want to keep him in that block stun mode, right? Have him scared to press, right? Have him scared to press. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're super plus. We're back in there. We can do whatever we want from here, right? We can go to forward 3, boom, try to go for the combo. We can go into stand 2. So really that's the game plan with Sector, is to really just control your turn and take your turn back a lot of times, right? You can do that 2 times in a row and take your turn and get insane amount of chip. Let's see how much chip damage we can get just from having him jailed like that. So look how much chip damage we did. I mean, if your opponent has that much health at the end of the game and you have 2 cameos, like, he's dead. He's dead at the end of the game if he has that much health left, because that's the game plan. Control your turn, take your turn. You can do that 2 times in a row, get some space, play however you want to play it. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this Scorpion for Dummies guide. If it helped you out even a little bit, leave a like on the video, throw a comment down in the comment section if you could, and subscribe to the channel. We'll have Liu Kang's for Dummies guide coming next week, so stay tuned if you want that, and we'll see you next time.